Hello friends, I want to share a story that profoundly changed my perspective on heart health. Almost a year ago, on New Year's Day, my friend's life was irrevocably altered. One day she was married, and the next, she was a widow. Her husband, seemingly healthy, died suddenly from a fatal heart attack. He simply didn't wake up. Just the day before, she had posted a beautiful picture of them at a black tie event, utterly unaware of the tragedy that was about to strike. She believed he had no symptoms, and that, my friends, is one of the most dangerous misconceptions about heart failure. In truth, the number one symptom of heart disease is often no symptom at all, or more accurately, no symptom that people recognize as a heart problem. Most hearts don't just collapse out of nowhere. Instead, the heart is a master of adaptation, quietly compensating and remodeling itself under pressure until one day it can no longer keep up. But long before that critical point, there are subtle signs that many of us unknowingly ignore for years. We're not careless, it's just that these signs are often gradual, socially normalized, and easily mislabeled. Today, we're going to talk about 10 of these early warning signs of heart failure that are frequently missed. The silent strain, understanding. Early warning signs. The first crucial early sign is chronically elevated blood pressure. Many people think of high blood pressure as just a risk factor, but it's far more direct than that. It's one of the most significant causes of heart failure itself. Imagine your heart's left ventricle, the powerful chamber responsible for pumping blood to your entire body, like a person doing resistance training. Every time your heart beats, the left ventricle has to push against the pressure in your arteries, much like lifting a barbell. When your blood pressure is normal, it's like lifting a moderate weight with perfect form. The muscle contracts, relaxes, and recovers, staying strong and flexible. But when your blood pressure is consistently high, it's as if someone keeps adding more weight to that barbell with every single beat, tens of thousands of times a day. Initially, your heart muscle adapts by getting thicker and stronger, a condition known as left ventricular hypertrophy. However, unlike healthy gym training, your heart doesn't get rest days or lighter sets. This constant excessive lifting without recovery stiffens the cardiac muscle, making it less efficient. Instead of being powerful and elastic, the ventricle becomes bulky, tight, and harder to fill with blood between beats. Eventually, this overtrained muscle fatigues, weakens, and can ultimately fail. Not because it didn't work hard enough, but because it was forced to lift too much for too long without relief, literally training to failure. A stiff heart cannot relax or fill properly between beats, leading to a form of heart failure where basic tests might look normal until the condition is advanced. Years of even slightly elevated blood pressure quietly reshape the heart's architecture. For adults, normal blood pressure is below 120/80 mm. Elevated blood pressure is 120/129 systolic, top number, and below 80 diastolic, bottom number. Stage 1 hypertension begins at 130/139 systolic or 80/89 diastolic, and stage 2 is 140 systolic or higher, or 90 diastolic or higher. A hypertensive crisis, typically 180/120 mmHg or higher, requires urgent medical attention. What truly matters isn't a single reading, but persistent elevation over time. That's why relying on a once-a-year physical isn't enough. Daily fluctuations due to stress, pain, exercise, caffeine, and sleep make home monitoring essential. When systolic blood pressure consistently stays above 130 mmHg, the left ventricle is chronically overloaded, increasing the risk of muscle thickening, arterial stiffening, kidney damage, stroke, and heart failure, even if you feel completely fine. The hidden impact of our daily choices. This brings us to the second subtle but powerful sign, a changing tolerance for your salt intake. Sodium excess directly expands blood volume, stiffens arteries, and drives blood pressure higher, especially under stress. Most of the sodium we consume doesn't come from the salt shaker, but from hidden sources in breads, sauces, soups, restaurant meals, and packaged and junk foods. Avoiding salt isn't just about willpower, it's about recognizing these hidden sources, quietly overloading your cardiovascular system. The good news is that your preference for salt is highly adaptable. Regularly eating high-sodium foods desensitizes your taste receptors, making you need more salt for the same flavor. But when you reduce sodium intake, those receptors resensitize. Within 2 to 3 weeks, foods that once tasted bland will begin to taste good, and previously salty foods might start tasting unpleasant. The most effective way to reset your palate is to remove the drivers of excess sodium, processed and restaurant foods. Cooking at home with whole foods immediately lowers your baseline sodium exposure, and your brain adapts. Flavor substitution is also critical. Adding acids like lemon juice, aromatics like garlic and onion, bitterness from greens, umami from mushrooms, or heat from chili can activate different taste pathways, reducing reliance on sodium. This is why cuisines rich in herbs, spices, and acids often require less salt, yet feel very satisfying. The third sign of a stressed heart is calf muscle atrophy, often masked by weight gain. Think about your calves. Did they used to be bigger? As we age, muscles naturally shrink due to cellular, hormonal, and neuronal changes, a process greatly amplified by physical inactivity. If you stopped regular physical exercise after school, your muscles, including your calves, interpret this lack of challenge as not being needed and down-regulate their mass and strength. Exercise keeps your heart healthy by training it to work better, not harder. When you exercise, your heart pumps more blood for a short period, teaching it to pump more efficiently over time. A stronger, more efficient pump is less likely to fail later in life. Movement also keeps the heart flexible, allowing it to relax and fill properly between beats, which lowers the risk of stiffness, a major cause of heart failure as we age. Exercise also makes your arteries more elastic, lowering blood pressure so your heart doesn't constantly push against high resistance. This reduces the chronic, heavy lifting your heart would otherwise endure 24/7. Additionally, exercise lowers inflammation, improves blood sugar control, and reduces harmful stress hormones like adrenaline, all protecting your heart muscle cells from damage. When you get used to not moving, you develop less tolerance for movement. This decline in exercise tolerance is an important red flag that often goes unnoticed. A progressive reduction in what you can do compared to your younger self, your walking distance, stair climbing, or ability to perform household tasks, can be an early sign of heart failure, even before you notice swelling in your legs or abnormal resting vital signs. While a lack of exercise can cause deconditioning, it can also be a consequence of early heart failure. The key distinguishing feature is the trajectory. In heart failure, capacity shrinks despite effort and motivation, often accompanied by disproportionate fatigue, breathlessness, or prolonged recovery after movement. This pattern signals a failing pump and maladaptive systemic responses, not simply a sedentary lifestyle. Subtle signals your body is sending. The fourth sign is progressive weakness, particularly a decline in grip strength. This isn't dramatic weakness. It's a subtle but persistent feeling of not being as strong as before. Carrying groceries feels harder, opening jars takes more effort, and objects that once felt light now feel heavy. Declining grip strength often reflects reduced muscle perfusion, mitochondrial dysfunction, or chronic activation of stress hormones. What many don't realize is that grip strength is one of the strongest predictors of cardiovascular and all-cause mortality. Large population studies show a strong association between lower grip strength and a higher risk of heart disease, stroke, heart failure, and early demise, even after adjusting for age, weight, and physical activity. In some studies, it predicts cardiovascular outcomes as well as, or even better than, blood pressure. This isn't because your hands are protecting your heart, but because grip strength is a reflection of your overall physiological reserve. A strong grip requires healthy muscle mass, intact motor neurons, good mitochondrial function, adequate blood flow, and low chronic inflammation. All factors that also protect your heart. When your grip strength declines, it often reflects systemic problems such as insulin resistance, high blood sugar, endothelial dysfunction, or early heart failure. Weaker grip strength is linked to poor exercise tolerance, reduced oxygen delivery to muscles, and impaired autonomic balance. People with low grip strength tend to have higher sympathetic tone, worse blood sugars, and higher inflammatory markers, all of which strain your heart. In essence, grip strength is a readout of how well your body can tolerate force, deliver oxygen, and recover from stress. When that system weakens, your heart is affected and your risk of heart disease rises. The fifth sign is shortness of breath with exertion, often dismissed as simply being out of shape. Walking uphill becomes harder, stairs require multiple pauses, and people subconsciously start to slow down or even avoid exertion. You might blame your lungs for huffing and puffing, but the real problem is likely your cardiac output. Your heart can no longer efficiently increase blood flow to deliver enough oxygen. Early heart failure frequently presents as breathlessness during exertion, long before resting symptoms appear. However, heart failure signs can also occur even when you're not moving. This leads to the sixth sign, breathing heavier at rest or feeling uncomfortable lying flat. You might notice needing extra pillows to sleep or feeling chest pressure when lying down. This reflects rising pressures on the left side of the heart, which back up into the pulmonary circulation. Fluid shifts can occur subtly for years before overt swelling appears in the legs or anyone labels it as heart failure, but these symptoms usually signal advanced heart disease and warrant a medical consultation. Decoding your heart's hidden messages. Another common issue, often unnoticed, is the seventh sign, an increasing resting heart rate. As cardiac efficiency declines, your body compensates by increasing your heart rate to maintain cardiac output. Many people never check their pulse, so they miss their resting heart rate gradually creeping from the low 60s into the 80s or 90s over several years. This is an early sign of declining cardiovascular fitness and rising sympathetic tone. This chronic overactivation can accelerate heart muscle fatigue and potentially increase the risk of arrhythmias. Your resting heart rate is one of the simplest yet most powerful indicators of heart health. A lower resting heart rate generally means your heart can pump more blood with every beat, indicating a healthy, fit, strong, and efficient pump. It also signifies flexible blood vessels and a more dominant calming, parasympathetic nervous system. In contrast, a higher resting heart rate reflects lower fitness, higher stress, sympathetic dominance, increased inflammation, and could also be a sign of anemia, dehydration, or early cardiovascular disease. While a normal resting heart rate is often cited as 60 to 100 beats per minute, outcome data suggests that a rate above 70, especially in the 80s or 90s, is associated with a higher risk of heart attacks, heart failure, and overall mortality. Endurance-trained athletes often have lower heart rates in the 40s or 50s. This is a physiological adaptation, not a disease, indicating efficient cardiac output and enhanced vagal tone. The context and accompanying symptoms are key. The eighth sign is persistent fatigue that doesn't improve with rest. This isn't just sleepiness, it's a deep physical exhaustion. While chronic fatigue is not exclusive to heart failure and can stem from many causes like anemia, infection, inflammation, sleep deprivation, depression, or poor nutrition, it's crucial to investigate the root cause. From a cardiovascular standpoint, fatigue becomes concerning when it's accompanied by a progressive reduction in activity or difficulty recovering after exertion, forcing you to avoid movements that were once easy. This reflects your heart having to increase its output under demand. Sustained inactivity, even if fatigue began from a non-cardiac cause, can erode your cardiovascular reserve, leading to reduced blood volume, less effective heart filling, and muscle loss. Thus, fatigue can become both a symptom and a driver, a self-enforcing problem and a functional marker of a heart failing to meet the body's demands. Unseen threats and interconnected systems. The ninth sign involves troubling cholesterol patterns beyond basic LDL, specifically elevated ApoB and lipoprotein A. LDL cholesterol alone doesn't tell the full story of how cholesterol impacts your blood vessels and heart. ApoB reflects the number of atherogenic particles capable of penetrating your arterial wall, while lipoprotein A adds inflammatory and clot-promoting risk. These particles drive plaque formation in your blood vessels, stiffening your arteries and causing microvascular disease at an accelerated rate. This can starve the heart muscle itself of oxygen, as it too relies on healthy blood vessels for support. Many want to believe that elevated LDL isn't a risk, but unfortunately, that's not true. Elevated ApoB and lipoprotein A are better markers because they silently accelerate heart failure. Finally, the 10th subtle sign is kidney dysfunction, often appearing as a slowly rising creatinine level or a declining estimated glomerular filtration rate, eGFR. The heart and kidneys are intimately connected, functioning as a single unit. Reduced cardiac output leads to reduced blood flow to the kidneys. The same factors that drive heart disease also drive kidney disease. The kidneys respond by retaining sodium and water, which increases blood pressure, further straining both the heart and the kidneys in a vicious cycle known as cardiorenal syndrome. These kidney changes are frequently dismissed as normal aging, but they are often early warning signs of systemic cardiovascular strain. Heart failure is rarely a sudden event. It's the culmination of years of quiet interactions between your blood pressure, blood vessels, kidneys, muscles, and metabolism. Silence isn't safety, compensation isn't health, and the absence of pain is not an assurance that there's no disease. Statistically, heart disease remains the #1 cause of death worldwide. In the United States, roughly 805,000 people suffer a heart attack every year, and about 1 in 5 of those are silent, meaning the person doesn't even realize they've had one. While survival rates after a first hospital-treated heart attack sound reassuring, around 90%, survival doesn't always mean full recovery. Many survivors live with permanent heart muscle damage, disability, reduced cardiac reserve, arrhythmias, or progressive heart failure that surfaces years later. While the average age for a first heart attack is 65 for men and 72 for women, these numbers hide a growing trend. Heart failure is appearing earlier, driven by factors like high blood pressure, kidney dysfunction, metabolic disease, and lipoprotein abnormalities, long before people reach old age. Heart failure is not a single disease. It is the final common pathway of years, sometimes decades, of silent injury. Pressure overload, vascular stiffness, microvascular ischemia, hormonal overactivation, kidney strain, and muscle loss. Because the body is remarkably good at compensating, people often adapt without realizing the slow decline is happening. The good news is that for most people, early interventions can significantly improve heart and kidney health, and it starts with what you eat and how you live. So, considering these subtle but critical signs, what changes are you ready to make today to better protect your heart for tomorrow?